Hello all, welcome to the channel this Thursday. It's about noon, 12:08 a.m. And I thought I'd do a little something different. It don't have to always be story time on Fridays. Some people, once again, get mixed up, say the cat writes a novel. It's not a storybook. It's a blueprint, like a map, study guide that helps you as writers. You break it down in sections to help make you become a better writer. That is outlining your characters, figuring out the structure and the beats with your work. That's what Save the Cat Writes a Novel is. It's not a book that you just pick up and read like any other book. And I thought we would get back on the book, the story, talking about Wink, Poppy, and Midnight. I haven't read this in a while. I've read it before, and it's a good book. It's suspenseful and it's hard to put down. A novel drawing major comparisons to E. Lockhart's We Were Liars. Two girls, one boy, one summer, one bad thing. What really happened? Someone knows. Someone is lying. It's very suspenseful, and it's our job as readers to try to figure it out. So if I get stuck, that's where you all come in to help me figure it out, to summarize it down, to sum it up. So I'm just going to look over it, just review it out loud, because I practice sometimes till people come in. There's nothing wrong with that. Rehearsing before you read. Practice makes perfect, as they say. Gotta find where I was at. Here we go. Now I might have to go back and review, because some people that hasn't come in might not know what I'm talking about. So we're going to go back a page just to give you an idea of where we're at. This is talking about midnight here. I'm just going to read out loud just to get some practice going. The first time I slept with Poppy, I cried. We were both 16, and I'd been in love with her since I was a kid. Since I was still reading monster comics and spending too much time practicing sleight of hand tricks because I wanted to be a magician. People say you can't feel real love that young, but I did. For Poppy. She was the girl next door who fell off her bike and laughed at her bloody knees. She was the neighborhood hero who organized games of Burn the Witch and get everyone to play. She was the high school queen who reached forward one day during math class, grabbed Holly Trueblood's thick white blonde hair in her fist and cut it off at the skull while Holly screamed and screamed, all because someone said Holly's hair was prettier than her own. Feisty, mean little girl much. Mean teen much. They're 16. Poppy and Midnight are at the age 16, so y'all remember that. She was Poppy. After we slept together, I started crying just a little bit, just because my heart was so full, just a couple small little tears. Poppy showed me off, stood up, and laughed. It wasn't a nice laugh. It wasn't a we both lost it together. How wicked of us. How fantastic. I will always love you because we did this. One big thing for the first time together kind of laugh. No, it was a more of a, is that all it is? And you're crying over it kind of laugh. Poppy slipped her long white limbs into her pale yellow dress, like milk sliding into a melted butter. She was bonier back then and didn't need to wear a bra. She stood in front of the lamp facing me, and the ray of light shone right through her thin summer clothes, outlining her sweet girl parts in a way I would think of over and over again afterward, until it drove me insane. Midnight, you're going to be the best looking guy in school by senior year. Poppy leaned her elbows on the window sill and stared out in the dark. Our high mountain air was thin but clean, and it smelled even better at night. Pine and Jupiter and earth. The night smells mingled with the smell of jasmine. Poppy dabbed it from a tiny glass bottle in her pocket, each earlobe and each wrist. Good afternoon, David. It's actually noontime. Good noontime to you. That's why I let you have me first. I wanted to give it to him. He's the only boy I'll ever love. But you don't know anything about him, and I'm not going to tell you anything about him. My heart stopped, started back up again. Poppy, my voice was weak and whispery, and I hated it. She tapped her fingers on the sill and ignored me. An owl hooted outside. Poppy swept her blonde hair back behind her shoulder in that gangly way, awkward way she still had then. It was completely gone by the time school started up. She was nothing but smooth elegance and cold, precise movements. And now no one would be able to say I didn't have taste. Midnight, Hunt, even when I was young. You're going to be so beautiful at 18 that girls will melt just looking at you. Your long black lashes, your glossy brown hair, your blue eyes. But I had you first, and you had me first. They fell in love. They were both 16. They fell in love and kind of grew up together. Midnight and Poppy. Poppy's a girl. Midnight's a 16-year-old boy, and he was always in love with her. They was each other's first. And it was a good move on my part, a brilliant move. And then came the year of me following Poppy around, my heart full of poetry, bursting with love, and never seeing how little she really cared. No matter how many times I had her in my arms, and how many times she laughed at me afterward. No matter how many times she made fun of me in front of her friends. She started making fun of them as they got older now. No matter how many times I told her I loved her, she never said it back. Not once. Not even close. And the name of it's called Wink, Poppy, and Midnight. I read this maybe a month or two ago on Storytime, and I thought I'd, switch it up, change it around. But this book is very suspenseful. You can get confused in it if you don't keep up who the characters are. I got confused at first, so of course I had to go back and read that part again. Now it makes more sense. This is going to be on the character talking about Wink here. Every story needs a hero. Go figure. We were studying that and Save the Cat Writes a Novel. And it's talking about that here. Every story needs a hero. Mim read it in my tea leaves the day Midnight moved in next door. Go figure, I have a book called Tea Leaves. Wow. Mim read it in my tea leaves the day Midnight moved in next door. She leaned over, pushed my hair out the way, put her fingers on a piece of my hair and pushed it behind her ears and said, "Your story is about to begin." And that boy moving boxes into the slanted old house across the road is the start of it. And I knew Mim was right about Midnight because the leaves also told her that the big monster was going to die, a bloody death in the night. And sure enough, a fox got him. We found him in the morning, his soft feathers stiff with blood, his body broken on the ground, right next to a red wheelbarrow, like in that one poem. And then it goes back to the scene of the character Poppy. I fell in love with Leaf Bell the day he beat the shit out of Dee Dee Ruffler. She was the biggest bully in school, and he was the first and only kid to take her down. I'm a bully too, so you might have thought I sympathized with her, but I didn't. Dee Dee was a short, wrong side of the tracks nobody with a mild, high, cruel streak. She had a strong, stupid body and a plain, round face and a mean, grating voice, and she tried to fight Leaf before. She called him all kinds of things: poor, ginger, haired, skinny, dirty, diseased, and he just laughed. Wow. But the day she called little seventh grader Fleet Park a slanted eyed boy loving chink, Fleet started crying, and Leaf snapped. He beat Dee Dee into a coma right there on the school cement steps. He pounded her head on the concrete, knees pinning her down by the chest, her rack jiggling, his red hair flying around his lanky shoulders, the capped mountains in the background. My heart swelled 3 sizes that day. Dee Dee was never the same after Lee smashed her head in. I read about that in my modern woman's science class, and that's how she was now detached, lethargic, and useless. Leaf didn't get into trouble for that fight. He never got in trouble, just like me. Besides, everyone was sick of Dee Dee, even the teachers, especially the teachers. She was as mean to them as she was to everyone else. Wow, what about them bullies? Kind of harsh much there, huh? There was an evil in me, too, a cruel streak. I don't know. Where it came from, I didn't really want it. No more than I'd want big feet or the mossy brown hair or a piggish nose. But blanket. I don't know if we're allowed to say certain cuss words. This book is blunt. It's got some words in there. If there's moms at home and they got kids and they're like watching me live, they might have to mute certain scenes because this book is blunt. Like I said, it's mysterious. So I have to watch some of the language in this book in case there's small children around. But blanket. If I'd been born with a piggish nose, then I would own it, like I own the cruel and the mean. Leaf was the first to recognize me for what I was. I was gorgeous, even as a kid. I looked like an angel. A cherub lips, blushing cheeks, and elegant bones, and blonde halo hair. Everyone loved me, and I loved myself. And I got my way and did what I wanted, and I still left people feeling like they were lucky to know me. No one thinks they're shallow. Ask every last person you know. They'll deny it. But I'm living proof. I get away with murder because I'm pretty. But Lee saw right through the pretty. He saw straight through it. I was 14 when Lee Bell, Lobo, let me see if I can get this word right. Hold on a minute. Every now and then I'll get stuck on a word. I'll just sound it out the best way I can. It's spelled Lobo, lobotomized. Okay, lobotomized. Or bottomized. Yeah, there's a T in there. Lobotomized. There we go. Dee Dee on the school steps, and I was on the school steps. And I was 15 when I followed Leaf home and tried to kiss him in the hayloft. He laughed in my face and told me I was ugly on the inside and left me sitting alone in the hay. How mean. That was just harsh and mean. Wink, back to Wink. They're using following through different characters in this book. So you have to kind of keep up because it can throw you off with the different characters here. Every story needs a villain. Ain't that the truth? The villain is just as important as the hero. They can't always be perfect all the time. More important, maybe. I read a lot of books, some out loud to the orphans, and some just to myself. And all the books had a villain. The White Witch, the Wicked Witch, the Gentleman with the thistle down hair, Bill Sikes, Mr. Hyde, Miss Danvers, Greendale. I didn't need Mim's T reading to learn the villain of my story. The villain had blonde hair and the hero's heart on her sleeve. She had teeth and claws and a silver tongue, like the smooth talking devil in Ash and Grim. Then it goes back to midnight. I had an older brother, a half brother. His name was Alabama, to be explained later, and he lived with our mom in Laura Marin of France. My parents weren't divorced. They just didn't live together. My mom wrote historical mysteries, so she was a writer. And 2 years ago, in the middle of a blizzard, she decided she would keep writing historical mysteries. But in France, instead of here, my dad signed and shrugged, and off she went. And Alabama went with her. He always been her favorite anyway, probably because his father was my mother's true love. Alabama's dad was, oh Lord, here's another word. Let's see if I can figure this one out. Musaji, Masur, weird name, Muscogee. If y'all can figure out how to pronounce that. And Choctaw. Ooh, what kind of name is that? Choctaw? They got some weird names in here. He ran back to Alabama, the state, not the brother, before my brother was even born. Then my dad came along with his big heart and weakness for creatures in need. He married my pregnant mother, and the rest was history. Yeah, that book, it's kind of out there. It's very suspenseful. Like they said, it's mystery. It's kind of mean. It's got some mean, rude bullies in there, and some definitely weird names for parents. I'm learning a lot, but sometimes I'll get stuck how to pronounce a name, but I can only do my best, right? Until I can Google it and let Google pronounce what the name is. I'll go back and do that later. Hope that doesn't mess up or enhancement for any people coming in, at least staying on to 10 minutes of my video. I'm trying to pronounce the names, but sometimes they're hard to pronounce. Yeah, it surprised me on that. It sure did. How you doing today? How are you doing today? You having a great Thursday so far? And I got your email. I appreciate that piece you finished up. But actually, Patience on that one was actually a song. That was just something I wrote in my thought. The one I wrote now from Patience. Still working on it, putting it in the story, trying to make it longer. And I started on, the I Am Survivor. Needs lots of work going on that one. I'm getting stuck toward the middle to the end. I went through that messy head and got stuck on it. So I said I'll go back to that later. When I get frustrated, I have to pull away from it so I can come down off of my negativity thoughts that wants to pop in that mess. I have to walk away, clear my head, get back my positive energy where I was at before, then go back to it. That's the way I have to do it. But I'm not complaining. I like that. Because the way you wrote it is so much better and makes sense better than any of my pieces I wrote. So, wow. I can really frame that and hang that on the wall. I'm going to. I'm going to get me a pretty frame that describes Bestie. It's going to have a little saying on it. And I'm going to put it in there and hang it up on my daggone wall. I like it. I'm going to make a copy of it and print it out. You don't mind, do you? And I really appreciate everything y'all doing for me. It's great. I really appreciate that. Let me find where I was at now. Okay. He married my pregnant mother, and the rest was history. Until she gypsied herself and my brother off to a land of grapes and cheese last winter. That was it. That is. So my dad sold the dull, spacious 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house that I grew up in and moved us into a 5-bedroom, 1-bath, crumbling, creaking old house in the country. 5 acres, apple orchard, sparkling, bubbling creek, just in time for summer. And I didn't mind, not a bit. The house was 2 miles from town, 2 miles from Broken Bridge, with its Victorian houses and cobblestone streets, and expensive gourmet restaurants and parties of skiing, snow bunny tourists in the winter. And it was 2 blessed, beautiful miles away. And it was 2 blessed, beautiful miles away from Poppy. Go figure. They moved right next to the person he grew up and fell in love with. You know what that was? Something fell and it scared a pee-hole out of me. I don't know what the crap that was. But it scared me there. Um, you'll have that sometimes. Right next to Poppy, the one and only he was in love with. No more soft taps on my window in the middle of the night from the girl 3 doors down. No more Poppy laughing as she crawled over my windowsill and into my bed. They was just 16, them two now. No more me not knowing whose cologne I smelled all over the front of her shirt. I was done being a sucker. And this old house nestled between apple trees and pine trees in a shadowy, forgotten corner of the mountains. It was the first step to my freedom, my freedom from Poppy. So they don't have chapters, they just switch back and forth with the characters. This is why this book threw me off. I loved it when I first read it. But as I got reading, I'm like, dang, there's no chapters. It just switches back and forth to the characters. Sort of almost like when you're doing a screenplay. I'm like, wow, you can actually write books without always having chapters in them. And it's like that all the way through the book. And so far, it's amazing. When I got it, at first I thought it said Wink Poetry at Midnight. I misread it from how the style is. But it's called Wink Poppy in Midnight. It's by April Genevieve, weird name, Tucholke, Tolk, author of Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. That's another one she wrote. But she's a new author to me, and from what I'm reading so far, this lady's got it down pat. She is a great author. I really enjoy reading different books, and this is the only one I got from her. I probably bought it like 4 months ago. I love it. I like showing off people I'm getting to know about and connecting with. I like to show off my bestie's talent. That's what's wrong the world today. When people start writing, they're actually scared to take that step to go publish, even after they get everything done. I know a lot of people, they're scared to make that extra step. If you don't put it out there, how you know, other than just because somebody says, oh, you're good, how you going to really know what other people think about your work or your pieces if you don't put it out there? It's called show and tell. And I'm getting better. I used to be shy and thought, wow, should I really publish my pieces on All Poetry? I got nervous on the first 3 I written, but the more I kept doing it, it kept my flow going. It kept me sticking to my writing. That's what that site, I believe, is about. It inspires you by other people that's went through the same thing that you're going through or went through, and it helps boost you up to writing. Hold on one second. Getting these phone calls. I don't know who it is. Hello? I get these weird calls and they don't say nothing. That just aggravates me. Somebody's going to call you and then they don't say nothing. It's actually from South Carolina. I get them. Had like 3 calls yesterday. Luckily, it wasn't in the middle of my video. But every once in a while, I'll get a text or I'll get a Snapchat streak from my older daughter. We streak each other. But that was weird. They didn't say a word. But you're saying you put your lyrics out there, you just don't know who you can trust. That's true. Because there's people out there that likes to try to get recognition and steal your work, and you have to watch out for that. You have to be very cautious because you don't want other people stealing your rights or what you do, your work, your pieces. And this book is all about a hero, a villain, a liar, who's who, and I'm learning that. My problem when I'm writing, I notice it. I figured out, somebody told me in another live stream I was watching their video, that if you go Google, you punch in Google your word count, you can practice in there. You can like sign up on it and log in. You confirm your email and it will help you show your weaknesses on certain word count or characters. It's like I got more characters than I do word count. That don't make sense. It says the more you write, the more your word count adds up. But it was showing more characters. I had over 300,000 characters I written yesterday. Just on a Google word count, practicing. Just getting my flows going. Just about anything. I just made up stuff that come to my head. But on my count, it's showing 800 something. 853 word count. It hasn't even reached in 1,000. I'm like, my goodness, how much more I got to write to get this word count? That's my weakness in my word count. You know, my grammar and all that. And it said I had some kind of weakness on my style, which the regular grammar didn't tell me that. But this is connected with your grammar, where it corrects your capitalization, all that, or misspelled word. My spelling was excellent, but it was something about my style. Not enough word count, but it's supposed to tell you your limit where you're reaching your word count. It didn't ever tell me. I saved it, made a copy of it. I think I did an upload or a video talking about it yesterday or last night. I still didn't reach my goal. I wanted to reach 1,000 word count. And I didn't reach it on that. I'm like, why is my characters more than my word count? And it's like over up into 300,000 on characters. Yeah, you told me it was going to be the end of April. This is April. It's going to be at the end of the months. What you told me yesterday. It'll be May next month, or not long, maybe a week or two, because we ride around the block. It won't be long. I will send out your 2 books in April. Okay. It's I think it's April 25th. I'm not sure how many days are in this month. Maybe 30, I'm not sure. But that'll be fine. I just can't wait. Let me know as soon as you shipped it and mailed it out. That way I can be on the look for it. Because your package to me, it takes 3 days for me to get it. It's according, whatever day you send it. And then I figured it in those 3 days, and that's how I can figure it out. And just make sure you send it, of course, the same address that I gave you. And you can let me know through my email or when you catch me on live when you send it out. Yeah, this book is kind of funny, but it's harsh. It's kind of mean when you hear about the bullies in here, about this story. But I'm thinking since Wink moved, I think it's going to help him get over this girl, Poppy. Because he was in love with her through their whole teenagers. And they pretty much was practically neighbors and grew up together. And now that he moved into the country, he can start moving on because he says, my freedom from Poppy. But yet, I guess he don't realize that they're kind of closer than he thinks they are. But I thought, I had to go back and fresh up because some people might get confused or they missed that part of the story. So I went back like a page extra from where we stopped on and gave a little view. And it just switches around the characters. That's kind of neat how authors can do that. I thought they had to always be in chapters, but they don't. Some of them have their prologue. They have an epilogue. They have a dialogue in their books. Learning more bits and pieces about the difference between that. I mean, I've read it, heard it before, but I have to kind of refresh my memory on some of that thing. Some of those things. As being a writer, you got to constantly do that. Make sure you know all about these things. But I thought I'd switch it up. But yeah, Save the Cat writes a novel is not necessary story time. That's basically a it's a blueprint. It's a manual to us writers, and we have to break it down. That's a study guide when I use that. These books are like pleasure reading, but if you don't never read, you're not going to figure out other ideas of characters and certain things on how to find your villain. We're doing young adult sci-fi. This is a mixture of a young adult sci-fi, I think. It's a thriller. And I think they published through a company called Speak. And it's all different things, and it's like they switch up and it's different. This is a different book, and I like it. If I can get another copy of it and more copies, I might do a free giveaway again. A lot of people had like 35 views on that. But no one anticipated. If you don't participate in it, you ain't going to win it. So I might do another one a little different. But this book is really good, but it's very blunt. It's got some cuss words, some things in there that little ears and eyes don't need to hear or see. So I have to kind of switch that up around a little bit, but or say blank or something like that. But some people says, well, you're on your channel, you can read it how you want it, but I try to respect other people that's got little ones around. They might be parents that stay at home. They don't do any type of work like from a line or things like that, and little kids running around while they're trying to throw up their video. A lot of times it don't work that way. It's a distraction to them. It is crazy as it sounds. What did you think about it? Did I read it okay? Do I need to get more? Because I'm trying to learn the expressions. Some girl told me I need to put more action into my expressions when I read out loud. And I don't mind getting feedback on that. And I feel more confident when I read out loud because it helps me. Okay, let me read that line again. Sometimes you'll catch me and I'll go back and read it again. Wait a minute, that didn't sound right. Oh, I'm supposed to read it out this way. And I want to make sure I get the exclamation, that emotion put into it. That's important when you're reading a book or just reading out loud in general? So it's going to be in May. The end of May or the beginning of May? Oh, we got to wait longer. You're talking about the book I just read, a lot of stories, yes. And I like how they kind of split from character to character. It's not just about those two characters. You got Wink, you got Poppy, and then you got Midnight. Those three characters, it kind of switches up, and I like that. You read it all right. It sounds good. So all right, it's not good enough. I need to work more with my reading then. Learning those characters' names and pronouncing the names right. That will also help. That makes a big difference in your reading. I used to read out loud all the time in my family. Around grandparents. Grandparents like to, when their deal, they like to tell the old wise stories, things that they grew up and things that they heard, like around campfires. So, but I like to read certain books I buy. If they don't sound too good or interesting, I won't go and read them out loud. I'll put them in another pile and stuff like that. It will be shipped on May the 7th. Them two books, okay? I got to look up and see what day that's on, and then 3 days from there, that's how I know I'll get it. It only takes me 3 days. Unless you're doing the shipment a little different, then sometimes it can take a little longer. As long as it gets here, I'm happy. I love books. I love things on writers. I love things how to improve um, things that I have weaknesses on. I love that. How you gonna learn? Before they ever come out the internet, we had to go the old-fashioned way in terms of books. So in a sense, I still go to my books. So I'm gonna write that down. May the 7th. I need to write that down. Because I record things like that. It's good to keep up with that. And I greatly appreciate it. I know you're busy with other things and have things that come up that has to get taken care of. And sometimes that gets in the way of certain things. It happens. And I appreciate that. That gives me an idea. Nobody else heard the story about the Wink and Poppy and Midnight other than you. But that's okay. They're probably used to me going on Fridays doing story time. But I figured I'd switch it up, switch books. And everyone likes to keep her. I might read some of that tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure what my brand or what idea I'm going to create or start with tomorrow. I'll worry about that then or for the end of the day. Thank you. I'm glad you do. I'm having my second cup of coffee, a little bit late start, but had a late start getting to it. And that's it of my coffee. And then I'll be going to my tea. I appreciate all the support. I need all the support I can get. And I do go to other people's videos when I can catch them live, and I'll jump right into their conversation. I'll tell them to come check out mine, catch me when I'm live. Make sure you hit the like when you come in, comment, either on my chat or in the comment below. So, You're having your green tea. That's great. Is it cold now? You no longer drink warm tea no more? I haven't cut my hair on. I froze yesterday. I mean, it was a lot warmer yesterday than it was today, and I froze. I'm just using fan and fresh air right now. And it's just like 12:48 on my time. Will those two books help me more than Save the Cat Writes a Novel, or about the same? Because I hope it helps me more. Hot tea again, your mouth's healed. You had to wait till it heals. I understand that. Awesome. I'm just going to guess. Is the books normal size like this? Or is it smaller, like smaller book like this? Is it paperback or hardback? This is the Words of Wisdom. And my brother gave me that. I love it. I love that book. That's with the Psalms and Proverbs in it. And then, of course, my tea leaves. I did some reading out of that. Awesome. Because I will be doing a lot of studying. You'll see. And you can better test me. You'll be like, okay, let's do a test. What have you worked on in those books, Lisa, that I sent you? You can test me on it. I take a lot of notes and stuff as well. It's like some of the other books that I checked out in the library. It's like they jump on something total different from where my weakness is. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't get that far yet. Some of them are like head of where I'm at on some of them. But I like the ones that breaks it down in the steps, the grammar, the story plotting, all that stuff. Is it paperback, hardback? Because I've heard, I don't know if that's true, with a certain way you send out a package, and if it's not like close, local, I heard that the weight of it is what costs us more when you're doing the shipping. So I didn't know if having a paperback makes the shipping cheaper, or if it's in a hardback way, it makes it more expensive. But they say it's according to the weight of the package. Hope it's not going to cost more. Yeah, I like hardbacks just as well. I like softback or hardbacks, either one. Is it small? Is it about the size of this book? That length, as far as lengthwise, or bigger? Like Save the Cat Writes a Novel size? I can't wait. I'm anxious. I love getting packages from you. You can see that, can't you? Well, I about tripped. I'm telling you, I ran down that mailbox. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My mail could be here today. When I got the camera, I tripped over a bush trying to get to that damn mailbox to get to it. I should have went live that day. Y'all would have got it. Y'all be tripping on me just going to my mailbox. Oh, it doesn't weigh that much. No, it's smaller than that. Oh, is it about this size? Because I like little teeny things too. Is it like that, hardback? Can you see it, or is it kind of blurred? Wait a minute. Is it blur? Yes, it's sort of like that. Oh, I like little books like that. Oh, Lord. There I go again. Overlook me. I trip on books like that. I like little small stuff like that. But will I be able to read it? The printing of it ain't too small, is it? Is it like, let's see. Is the print size like that? Because I can read that. If it's too small, I ain't going to be able to read it. Got to make sure I can better read it. It's the print sort of like that into it. Show and tell. I read A Wink and Poppy in Midnight. It's a Spencer story, and it's awesome. A lot of y'all missed it. You'll see it after the upload, I guess. I like little books like that. It gives extra space with your other books. And I'm going to eventually, maybe Donald's going to build me a bookshelf. Him and Jamie's going to build me a nice bookshelf that way I can organize and put these. That's just going to be all for my writer books. It's not going to be my story books on that. That's going to be a different, just for my writers, writing things. Can you hear me okay? Am I fuzzy? Trying to make it, there we go, that got brighter. Maybe I just need to turn around more. It's still bright. Wait a minute, let's see. Can you see me a little better now? Do I sound more clear, or I'm muffling in and out? Because somebody said they come in, they left the comment on the last one I did, said they liked it and gave me thumbs up under a comment. Yeah, I need to slow down. I didn't fall, I just tripped. I couldn't wait. I was excited getting to that mail. I didn't get hurt, but that'd been hilarious. I'd probably get an ass of views on that one. Because, I mean, I had my phone with me. I don't know why I should have did a live stream on that one. Because y'all would have tripped out on that. I'm serious. I got to slow down. I was just excited going to my mouth. I said, yay, maybe it come. And sure enough, it did. I even hauled out. I said, my package came. Hot damn. I got it. And when I got it coming back, it was all she wrote. Y'all would have got a kick out of that. Oh, wow. So right now, don't look too dark to you on your side. But when I move it a little bit, it adjusts back a little brighter. It's so clear. But yesterday when I did upload, it was kind of fuzzy like toward the end. I don't know what happened there. I used my regular camera. It looked kind of orange. And then all of a sudden, this thing that I downloaded told me it would help me with the background on YouTube. It's called Flux or something. And I didn't realize I clicked the wrong thing, and it was showing everything on my page turning pink. And then Jamie was thinking that my screen was about to go out. So, oh no. We Googled, looked it up, and he was reading under the views. I was Googling it, figuring out how to fix it. I said, you can't always go by what people's saying under the views. You got to actually Google that crap under the Mac deal on what type of computer I had. And I thought my screen was about to go out. What it was something I clicked on that changed the color. I went back and clicked on my desktop and I fixed it. He said, oh, so you had something you downloaded. I said, yeah, but I didn't think it was going to change my whole Google page, YouTube, and it made me look kind of red. That's probably why it was red on my external, on my laptop. That's good. So I think I fixed it. It don't no longer look orange because I'm using my webcam now. Later on, I'm just going to have to test it on my MacBook and see if it still looks kind of orange red tint. And it showed that last night. I was just using my MacBook camera then. Earlier that day, I was using the webcam, the Logitech. I didn't get injured today. I thought that was funny. I want to make sure I get to it because there's some people stupid. They like to go on people's mailboxes. You know it's a federal offense. But if I'm up here and they take it, I wouldn't have no way they're going through my mailbox. So I was rushing to get to it, make sure nobody don't try to steal anything out of it. I was excited. So, yeah. Okay. You have a safe trip. I'm gonna probably end this live stream for now. so I can go work on other writings and stuff. You be safe. And thank you for coming to my live stream. I give you thumbs up. And I'll see you again soon. Be careful and safe, Bessie. Watch for them idiot drivers out there. And take care. With those who haven't seen my live stream video, when you do come on, when it's uploaded, and if you like what I read from Winks and Poppy and Midnight on Storytime, feel free to show your love and throw in them likes. And comment. Either in, well, you won't be able to comment in the chat bar because you wouldn't hear when I was live. But feel free to comment at the end of this video because it's going to be an live uploaded video when you all decide to view it. Show your love, support, throw in them likes, and you watch me many times. See, I'm dedicated. I try to get many videos I can per week. Feel free to subscribe my channel. And you all have a great Thursday. God bless. If it's reading you love to do, get back to that reading. If it's writing, let's get back to our writing, us writers out there. And have a great Thursday evening. Yeah, I'll probably be back on. And you all take care. And thanks again, Bessie, for showing your support. You're always there. Hugs to you. And have a safe trip to the store. Yeah, I'll be on later. I'll try to, yeah. Might be something else different, but I'll try to. And see what happens. I'll be on later. Maybe before they get off or before Donald gets home from school. Loves you too, bestie. Take care.